You need to go ahead and get out that drive-through. Okay, you got Taco Bell at home. I really can't stand when somebody's giving you a fast food alternative style recipe and it's like marinating and things like that. That's really not replacing the fast food. I'm about to put y'all on to what can actually replace the fast food, okay? This recipe is very quick to throw together. Not only is it quick to throw together, all of the ingredients I'm using here are very inexpensive. I think each of these components costs less than $1 each. I will be having the recipe linked down in the description so you can check it out. But yeah, it is a pretty cheap recipe too, so by comparison it can stand toe to toe with your Taco Bell order, okay? I get these bags of beans free with my HEB orders pretty often, but you can make your own refried beans or you can use them out the can. This is a smaller amount and it can be made in the microwave, but I'm gonna cook them on the stove. And yes, I'm using chorizo. There are lots of different types of chorizo. This is not the Spanish one that's like cured. This is the softer one. I want to say it's Mexican, but they have soy chorizo if you do not eat meat. Do I have any non-meat eaters out there? Y'all want some more like vegetarian, vegan recipes? Because I would say like twice a month I go vegan, so I can put y'all on too. Just let me know in the comments. You will be seeing me add quite a bit of garlic seasoning in this. Not garlic salt, just like the dried granulated garlic, because I just wasn't in the mood to like grate it up or anything. I had a little bit on hand, but I'm not a garlic girl. I like to get the bulb of garlic, so I just wasn't in the mood to play around with it, so the seasoning is just fine. I'm also using some coriander seasoning, which is the seed that cilantro comes from, so it kind of gives it a little hint of that cilantro kick, because I'm not going to use any fresh cilantro in this either. I mean, I just feel like you're not getting fresh cilantro from no Taco Bell, so I mean, I wanted the flavor there, but I tried to keep it, true to the thing. But you can put some in there if you want to, like later down the line. You don't want to cook it. You want it to have that little bit of freshness, but that's the fun thing about cooking. You tweak it to how you want it to go when you making your food, okay? Okay, so you saw me add the beans in, and you just want to stir these around so everything is incorporated so that it's not like a big clump of beans somewhere. You want it to just be evenly dispersed as it heats through. And this is a hack that you can use at any time. The most important cheese hack ever. I really cannot stand to grate my own cheese, so I see other people doing it now, but I learned that you can rinse the coating off the top of the cheese with some cool water. I'm gonna demonstrate it here, but it's easier to do it over the sink so you can get enough water off. But you'll see like the coating that keeps it from sticking together in the bag, it'll come off very easily when I rinse this cheese. And you want to just squeeze the rest of the water out, and you're left with cheese that will melt so much better. I'm sorry, I just will not be buying a block of cheese unless I really have to, but I really cannot stand shredding cheese. Oh my goodness. Okay, baby, now we down to the wire. Okay, it's time to heat up your tortillas. You could use low carb ones here if you want to. I'm not going to. So I like to heat up oil and butter. I like butter on my tortilla. So I'm going to dip them in the oil and butter on both sides and then let them cook, and then give them a little flipperoonie, And then once I flip them, that's when I put my cheese down on that warm side of the tortilla. I do think it's important that I mention, when you are melting your butter, make sure you're doing it on a low heat, because we don't want to brown the butter because it's going to be sitting in the pan a while. So have the heat on like a medium low setting before you put the tortillas in. You can crank it up a little bit if you need to when you add the cheese, but remember, there's nothing in here that we're cooking. We're just heating everything up. We're working pretty quickly here, okay? So once that cheese starts to take on a little meltiness, that's when you want to top your meat mixture onto the tortilla. I'm gonna do it like one big quesadilla, well, small quesadilla, but I'm gonna just put the meat mixture on one side and then I'll close the top. So you can do this like taco style if you want to, just like put the meat in, or just like use the cheese as a barrier. It's up to you. Like, it really is no rhyme or reason to it, but just make sure, again, your heat is not very high, because once you close that little lid on here, that's all she wrote. Like, you are done with this. It did not take any time at all, took minimal ingredients, and you have something that is so scrumdiddlyumptious, and you make a lot of it. So if you got a big appetite, you can keep coming back for more, you know? Like, that's what is better than something that is cheap, fast, and delicious. Like, come on now. But wait, there is more. Okay, so the mixture that we made here, I was like, why not make this into a breakfast taco? So that's exactly what we're gonna do. Nobody wants to overcomplicate breakfast, so all this really is exactly what I made earlier, but with eggs and in taco style. So I'm scrambling up eggs how I usually will. Do y'all need an egg cooking tutorial? Because scrambled eggs literally are my specialty. Like, I make the most perfect, fluffiest eggs ever. But yeah, so I'm gonna scramble them up, light seasoning. Emphasizing that, light seasoning, because that meat is already heavily seasoned. Chorizo itself is seasoned very heavily. We added extra seasoning because the beans didn't have any seasoning. But yeah, so light seasoning in the eggs. And make sure you're layering your eggs and your cheese so that it can get a really good melt on it, okay? So I have a caramelized onion cheese and just a regular, I don't know, cheddar, whatever you call the Kraft singles. 2 of those, because we love cheese around here. Child, I do not know why I'm making these tortillas in a different pan. Like, clearly I just love washing dishes, because I could have just wiped out the original pan. But yeah, I'm doing the same thing I did last time with the tortillas, getting them coated on both sides. You can heat up your tortillas without the oil and butter. It's just what I like to do. You can just warm them on this cast iron or in a pan. Just not what I'm interested in doing. So we're gonna heat up the chorizo mixture that we made last night, and we're gonna slather that on here. No cheese on the tortilla. Remember, the cheese is in the eggs. But yeah, we're gonna just get it nice and thin, because the eggs need something to like glue it down, because they like to fall all over the place. Like, I don't know what that is. I thought the cheese would like hold it together better, but no, the chorizo is the glue here. The princess has spoken, so that means you have to try it.